Over the years, we've seen a lot of game studios really test the waters on new styles of game. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But we're talking about Capcom here. Capcom has been on a relentless hit streak with game after game after game that have just been everything that fans have wanted them to be. With Pragmata, we've been waiting on this game for some time, and it is so unique. It is something that I can't say that any other studio out there would have been able to do with such grace and with such amazing gameplay, unique stylization of cinematography, and also one of the coolest things about this game is that even though you think it is a full-on action adventure, there's also a lot of heart put into this game. And not just, the devs showing that they love this game or whatever, but I'm talking about in the story with Hugh and Diana. So on this game, I'm going to tell you something, guys. You have got to play this. At a remote lunar research facility, humanity discovers a new ore, one that, when properly refined, can be used to create almost anything using a 3D printer. When the facility suddenly falls silent, Hugh and his team are dispatched to investigate, but disaster strikes, as usual. Okay, we should be used to this. Hugh is saved by Diana, a lone android wandering the complex. The two must join forces and find a way off the moon while working their way through an AI-controlled facility bent on stopping them. Half-realized replicas of human civilization sprawl across this lunar surface, while inside only scattered traces of the facility's vanished inhabitants remain. What burned truth awaits at the end of Hugh and Diana's journey? I know I butchered that reading it, but let me just say this. This game is something really unique, and I knew that I was going to like it. I had a feeling from playing the early demos and playing what we played at Summer Games Fest this past year that I was going to really enjoy this game, but I don't think I knew that I was going to like it as much as I do. And that may be because of the ADHD in me or what, but the style of gameplay in this is something really crazy. So first off, the story is great. We're going to leave this super spoiler free. I'm not going to talk about real big in-depth things on the story outside of saying this. One of the coolest things about this story is not the fact that there's all this 3D printed stuff, or that you're in space, or that you're teaming up with a robot. It's the fact that you're teaming up with a robot and you get a connection with this robot, almost like a father and daughter thing that we haven't really seen since like The Last of Us. Of course, The Last of Us, it was much more dreary than what this game is, but you see a really nice kind of father and daughter team. You see them bond over time, and you see Hugh a lot of times just really sending positive vibes and showing her that she's not just there for him, but he is there for her. And I really thought that was awesome. I felt like that breathed a lot of life into the characters, as well as giving them kind of this heartfelt feel in the story that I didn't really expect. But with that being said, the graphical presentation, of course, is really stellar. There's some really cool, unique style of levels that you will see in this game that kind of throw you off a little bit, because there's times that you're walking up to these certain areas and you'll see halfway printed items or locations, or you'll see some of the stuff that you see in this game, like you'll be walking down the street and you look to your left and there's a street that goes up the wall with cars printed on it, and you're like, how is how is this possible? I don't understand how there is a street with cars going upwards when I'm walking forwards. So it's a really trippy experience. But one of the coolest things about the game, of course, one of the highlights of this game is the gameplay mechanics. So as you play this game, of course, it is an action-based game, and you eventually end up coming about finding a shelter, and in that shelter you can upgrade your character. You can change his customization with his uniform. You can change Diana's uniform as well. You can find new things that you can unlock for Diana to look at and play with, and it 3D prints these different types of scenery for you. There's VR training in it. Made me feel like I was playing Metal Gear Solid for a bit while I was playing it, but there's different VR training that can give you these tokens that you can use in your God, what's wrong with me? In your shelter, and you can actually use them for by paying them to Cabin, which Cabin is an independent little bot that will pop up and show little funny videos on his screen face, little 8-bit videos of you and Diana. But then also, what's really funny, it's a big kind of like Easter egg here, but there's certain little things that you'll see on his face or on his screen that are kind of Easter egg shout outs to other Capcom games. But as you play through the level and as you do your training and VR missions and whatever, you can get these coins that will help you unlock different little lotteries. So they have a thing set up almost like a bingo system. And as you go down through this, you can unlock them. And when you find different locked areas that you unlock in game and take those over and get rid of the AI bots and clear that little section out, then you'll be awarded more unlocks once you get back to your shelter. And it's a really cool system that's set up. But back to the gameplay mechanics of this game, one of the best gameplay mechanics is the hacking in this game. So as I said, I got ADHD pretty bad. So one of the things that I always find myself doing is trying to do multiple things at one time continuously. I'll have the game that I'm reviewing on while the TV is playing, while I have a note system up on my phone trying to take notes, while I'm also cooking dinner for the kids and trying to make sure that they're all showered and in bed on time. My brain is continuously moving, and this game, there's so much that you can do at one singular time. So as you're controlling Q, Diana actually pops up when you hold down like L2 on the PS5, which is the version of the game that we reviewed it on. Your play style changes. You hold down L2 to aim, and then you instantly get the ability to hack these robots. And once you hack these robots, you can add new damage to them. Like you can go from only doing 63% damage to, if you triangulate it right and you kind of coerce your way down that little bingo board that you have, you can set it up to where you can do upwards to anywhere from like 200 damage to sometimes like 3,000 damage, and it's really cool. But then as you play the game and you unlock new things, you can have different hacking styles. So you can hack multiple different robots at one time. You can electrocute them. You can do heavy damage to them. You can get it to where they're confused and they're attacking other robots. Or you can do it as well as once you get them to a certain amount of damage points, then you can also do a hack to where you go up to them and put your gun right up to their chest or their head and do like a final shot on them. And it's a really cool system, man. Like, I didn't think that I was going to be able to be so in tune with this gameplay mechanic and style of play, but it is awesome. It is really fun and really rewarding, especially whenever you come upon like a huge group of some of these androids that are trying to take you out, especially if you have it set up the way that you need to. You can have some of those multi-hackers in your system, and this is actually something that you have to equip yourself. So while you're at your shelter and you're going out to your mission, say that you gain a certain amount of unlock coins. You go back to your shelter, you upgrade your character a little bit. Right before you go back to your mission, there's a little area that you'll actually set up your loadout. So you'll choose what weapons you want to take into the field, but you'll also choose what hacking ability you want to take into the field. And then you can do even more add-ons, like you'll have an increase opportunity or ability of like up to 30%, having a bigger possibility of doing more damage, or having a bigger opportunity of doing a final kill earlier. All kinds of really cool, unique styles of play. But as I said, you'll choose these, the one that you want to bring into the field with you. So you could do, like if there was a certain area that I came up upon that I ended up dying. And the reason why is because as you work your way through this level, not only will you get new, different robots that you have to take on, but you'll get additional styles of the robots you've already taken on before that do way more damage, that do more to take you on at one time. And it's a really cool game, man. Like, I don't know how to better say it. Like, it's kind of the sci-fi game that we've really needed from in this genre for a while, because it really spices things up. It changes the style of play. It doesn't feel like something that you've played before, because of this gameplay mechanic with the hacking ability while you're playing, the styles of robots changing as you're going about, the secrets that you can find in the game are something really cool. And I think that kind of solidifies to me why this game is not just unique and one of the coolest games to come out this year, but it is definitely a must-have for sci-fi gamers. If you want something that is in space, that tells a story that is much different than what you've played before, and that also keeps you entertained and challenged, then this is going to be the game for you. Now, audio-wise, of course, the music was great. I felt that there was a lot of times that the composition of the music was done really well. Some of these games nowadays, too, I feel like a lot of people are kind of leaving out that aspect in their reviews to where they're not really talking about the music. They're just talking about the game. But the music composition in this game is really, really done well. And now, I don't know for sure who composed or when it was composed, how they really, the ideology that they had behind it, but it works really perfect. There's a lot of times that you'll have these heartfelt moments, and you'll actually feel it in that moment because of the music, not just because of what you're seeing on the screen, but because of the piano that's playing in the background that makes you realize that how deep and heartfelt this moment that's happening on screen in front of you is. And I feel like that adds a lot to what engrosses me into video games. If I don't have a good feel for the music, if there's times that there's like dead air, which is something that drives me crazy when I play these games, that there's no music playing at all, there's nothing that's really kind of engrossing you outside of you just kind of taking things on, or the placement of the music is wrong, it kind of takes me out of that experience. I never had that moment with this game. And the boss battles are so sick. They're so intense. I mean, you think that you have an intense moment when you come up and you have 3 or 4 of these large-scale, massive bots that you're fighting with some of the smaller humanoid bots that's coming at you, and then you have these drone bots that are flying at you. You got these other bots that like can shoot giant electrical orbs out of their body, while also having a lightning bolt strike in the area that you're taking these on. It is so challenging, but it's so rewarding. And I feel that even on the normal mode, whenever it felt overly challenging, once you strategize the way that you need to in this game, then it becomes something so rewarding and so unique. There was a couple of times of frustration with me to where I was like, oh, like I feel that they could have added the accessibility of like an additional map. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have a map that you can look at, you can see where you're going, but I've you know, maybe they set it up this way for a reason to where you kind of had to just go out and about and discover. But I would have really liked kind of like a HUD map to where I could see where I'm going, to where I'm not having to pause the menu constantly and be like, all right, well, this is where I'm at, and I think this is where I'm going. But outside of that, man, honestly, one of the better Capcom games that I've played, and I feel like I always end up saying that every time that I've been reviewing some of these Capcom games. I'm like, oh yeah, it's the best. Oh, this is the best Capcom. But I mean, they're continuously, it's like building a cake that is just made out of awesomeness. And every single time Capcom bakes one of these layers for that cake, it's just as good as the last one, if not better. And then the next one comes out, and it's just as good as that one. And then the next one comes out, it's just as good as that one. I mean, honestly, the studio is psychotic, man. I don't see how they keep on coming out with these games that you play, and it actually feels like a good gameplay experience wholeheartedly across the board. So I know this was somewhat of a long-winded review. You've probably seen the same exact videos over and over again. You know, I tried to get some of the trailers as well thrown into this that I could, but Capcom's press website is down, which is understandable because the game is kind of in that, you know, moment that reviews are coming out. They're trying to upload stuff, but I want to say this game is great. Such a unique, crazy style of gameplay. One of the coolest games that I've played in 2026. And I'm telling you guys, you are going to love this game whenever it launches on April 17th. So I am going to give this game a 5 out of 5. I could give it a 4.9 out of 5 because the scaling of the map, the accessibility of the map, I guess. But in all honesty, outside of me kind of thinking about it here and there wasn't really any type of horrible issue with this game. It was a really fun experience. I think that it is something really unique. If you have attention deficit disorder like me, or attention hyperactive disorder as I do, this game is, I'm telling you, it is right up your alley. You can do so much at one time while playing the game. And I mean, for real, the combos in this game are crazy. Like hacking 4 robots in front of you, shooting them, doing as much damage as you can while one of them flies at you, like jumps in the air, slams down right in front of you as you jet yourself backwards, get out of the way, and then fly back up to him and push R2 and do this like final. I mean, listen, this game is a stellar experience, and I really think you guys are going to like it. So please make sure to check out our other reviews that are on cinelinks.com right now. And please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check back soon for our review of Mouse PI for Hire right here on cinelinks.com.